The idea of universal health coverage, a single payer system in the United States, is gaining more and more support. Back in 2016, not many people were ready to publicly profess their support for it, but now in 2019, most of the Democratic candidates for president are supportive of Medicare for all type plan. So you know what happens when it seems like the country is moving left. It's about to make some progress. It's about to embark on some change. You know what happens? Those who are supposedly on the left try to move things back to the center. Representative Cheri Bustos, who is a Democrat from Illinois, she is the chair of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, the DCCC. And she recently had an interview with The Hill and expressed her skepticism over universal health coverage. Well, not specifically universal health care in general, but the idea of Medicare for all. So she told The Hill, the Green New Deal is an idea. Medicare for all is an idea, but there are many others that are out there. What do we have? 130 million something Americans who get their health insurance through their work. The transition from what we have now to Medicare for all is just hard to conceive how that would work. You have so many jobs attached to the healthcare industry. She then added, I think the $33 trillion price tag for Medicare for all is a little scary. Now, Representative Bustos has been elected. She has been an elective representative since 2013. She was elected in 2012. But I'm sure that you will be absolutely surprised as to which industry she came from in the private sector. I'm sure this is going to be very surprising information. She came from the private healthcare industry.
And she still currently gets money from them.
Still gets money from them. Her last year working in that field, even though, like you said, she's still getting money from them, but her last year working in the field as a private citizen, not as an elected member of Congress, she earned over $300,000 for her work. Now that's some pretty good money. I mean, that's impressive actually. That's some good living. But I think it would probably be an overreach to say that whatever connections that she did have in her time in the private healthcare industry and the remaining affiliation that she has right now, I think it would probably be a stretch to say that would probably influence the way that her mind is thinking about these policy ideas,
You said it would be a stretch?
It'd probably be a stretch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see. If she would have just left the industry, right? Mm-hmm. And then kind of not been sponsored by them or supported by them financially at all after, what you say would actually make sense. Your sarcasm would actually be for real. Right. It wouldn't be sarcasm.
It wouldn't
make sense because, somebody working in the industry and then relinquishing their support from that industry after they stop working might point to maybe, okay, they understand how it works.
Right.
And they may proceed with their legislative suggestions based on their work in that industry. But
Correct.
Since that connection is still maintained financially, we would have to suspect that her outlook on Medicare for all is influenced by that financial connection.
All right. You turned me.
I turned you?
Yeah, you turned me, man. Yeah, you turned me.
That didn't seem too hard though.
No, it wasn't. So she's talking about the $33 trillion price tag for Medicare for all. So let's just assume that that number is real. There have been some studies, there have been conservative studies as well, some libertarian studies that they point the number in that $33 trillion mark. Okay, so in 2016, the U.S. spent $3.4 trillion on healthcare. Healthcare costs are expected to rise. Per a study done by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, it's expected to rise all the way to $5.5 trillion per year by 2025. So if you extrapolate what we paid in 2016, if you extrapolate that over 10 years, you're going to come out to a cost that's higher than that $34 trillion mark. So that's why it should not be divisive whatsoever. It shouldn't be divisive at all. Because if you actually educate people about what this is going to do and how it's going to save money and everybody's going to be covered, then everybody should be for it.
Honestly, I just think that that's a cop-out because I guess most of those issues that kind of like cause divides are, I don't know what you call those, kind of culture war wedge issues. That Medicare for All is not one of those culture war wedge issues that people tend to get.
It's not like a social issue or
It's
anything
not.
like
And I
that.
think those are most of the issues that people get divided on. I think she's just using it as an excuse to kind of, I guess, not see the reality of Medicare for All being popular across the board.
Right. She also stated in this interview with The Hill, she said, the vast majority of Democrats in the U.S. House of Representatives want to see us fix the Affordable Care Act and make it functional so we can protect people with pre-existing conditions and so people have affordable health care. Do you know what this woman sounds like? She sounds like Republicans. Republicans since I can't even remember. Actually, ever since Obama was elected president and definitely ever since the ACA was passed. Republicans have been championing this repeal and replace idea, but they have never been specific about it. They have nothing to offer whatsoever. They want something great. President Trump has said this on the campaign trail and while he's been in office. We want something, first month in office. Hey, we're going to repeal it. We're going to replace it with something great. Still no ideas yet, all right? It's been years. Still no ideas. The Democratic Party, these establishment Democratic politicians like a Hillary Clinton and like Cheri Bustos, she says that we want to strengthen the ACA. We want to get to a place where, we fix these premiums. We lower the premiums. We want to get to a place where it's 100% of people that are covered. How? Well, that's where there's a lot of vague ideas being thrown at you. Nothing solidified whatsoever. Here we have a good idea like Medicare for All that Bernie Sanders really championing on the way to, along the way of running for president in 2016. Again, back then, not many people adopted his message. Now they are. We have a good idea that it looks like it's going to save us money and put us in a place where every single citizen is covered. But people want to run away from that and search for something that might be better, but we don't know what it is. Cheri Bustos, again, like I said, I know that she's the chair of the DCCC, and she doesn't want to burden these candidates that are going to be running in 2020 with something that is divisive. But Medicare for All, that's not it. That's not something that's divisive. Once you explain to people what it is, how it's going to help, how everybody's going to be able to be covered and use that health coverage, I think whatever support that we have for it right now in 2019,
it's just going to grow.
It's only going to grow
because
in 2020 and beyond.